actually the prices for flights is very different in different cities, depending on traffic. So if the destination is highly overloaded, the price is generally low. So if this is a popular destination area, the prices are low. If it's a bit remote, something like 100 kilometers, but it's not popular destination, it could be 2 or 3 times more expensive. So for example, if you go to Eastern Africa, you anyway have to go to Nairobi, even if you need to go to Tanzania, because Dar es Salaam will cost something like 650 euros and Nairobi will cost 300 euros. But you can go for 300 euros to Nairobi and then by bus, 1 day travels. Sure, it depends how tolerant you to buses you are, but it will cost you something like 15 euros going for something like 200 or 300 kilometers, and also probably a visa $50. But anyway, it will be nearly twice cheaper than going directly to Dar es Salaam or to, for example, Kigali of Rwanda. Yeah, because not that many people traveling there, so the prices are high. So you generally travel somewhere where you can travel cheaper, and then by local transport get to your area. Also, it's a point of money. Sure, your Western colleagues will not say you this. If you need to go to Dar es Salaam, go to Dar es Salaam and ask your university for covering your costs. So it's automatic for them, not for us. And actually, some other hints. First, what I don't trust locals and colleagues. Ask your match. Under match, I mean somebody of your age, of your financial status, and of your professional purposes. So somebody who is of different professional level or financial level will give you wrong answer. So if you travel there, you better ask another travelers. But it was like with my experience with my German colleague who was working in Nairobi, when I asked about some local things, how to get in one area or another area. He described me something like horror movies, that you don't have to go there, or you have to rent a car and you have to arrange something with a police, so protect you, something like 3 people to protect you, simply to go to a small bush. And it's simply stupid, but sure, this person have never been to Troyeshchina. Yeah, so for him, going to a bush, you have to have a guardians with you. But if you ask them, yeah, they will tell you something like that you cannot, and especially if you ask many people about using public transport in Africa, really white people like English or Americans, they will say it's a death. They are breaking every time, they are burning. Probably one is burning for 10 years, but they keep it in mind that it's regular. And sure, they have never been using our minibuses. So for them, it's absolutely not possible. You have to avoid them. You have to avoid any public transport. You have to avoid speaking with local people because they are robbers. And so. But it's not true. It's just their fares which they introduce to you. So ask your match. Don't ask them. And also don't like locals, because they have a bit different feeling of space and time. For example, if you are using the minibuses and you ask when the minibus will start, and always they reply in 15 minutes. It doesn't mean anything. They start when they are full, and they full when they are really full, and there is no space in between the heads of people. Because if there are still free space, they're waiting for some bananas or chicken from their relatives, which they forward to the minibus. So 15 minutes, which they propose you, it doesn't mean anything. Last time, my 15 minutes were lasting from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. We were waiting for 15 minutes because not enough people, not good roads, something wrong, and so on. And also for the space. If you ask some kind of local village, if you ask such guy, so where the, for example, Malimba village, they say, it's too far, because they either go around their own village or travel with a car. and they can wait for the whole car along the road, simply hitchhiking, instead of going 1 hour by walk. They will wait 5 hours until car will bring them for 10 minutes to another route, rather than walking. So if you ask whether it's far, like 3 kilometers, they say, oh no, it's far, you have to wait for a car. But for them it's far, simply because they feel it's far, but it's not actually far. And also the same for local flora and fauna. Also don't trust the readers' books when the locals, they are very sophisticated people who know what is the plant, what is the animal, who is poisonous, who is edible. They don't know anything generally, because in colonial time all the indigenous knowledge was nearly ruined. So they know about their indigenous knowledge generally not more than you know about knowledge of ancient Slavs. So they, and it was like in Tanzania when you will see the pictures of the guys. One of the guys who followed me, and he thought that actually I'm a normal tourist who is afraid of snakes. He said that it's very good here because there is no snakes around. And just when he stopped his speech, I could see the green snake around his leg, just going to a bush, and I just attracted his attention. What is this? And he said, and in evidence, he said that there is no snakes. I have seen snakes just 2 times in my life, and there is another snake. I said, and what it is? He said, oh, it's so. So actually, you don't rely on them. So, and also there are many small non-poisonous snakes, but locals say that all snakes are poisonous. Generally, what I have found is Africans are quite afraid of animals. Maybe it's something like also indigenous, so it's better to be afraid of any animals than to trust the animals, because at least one of the 10 can be poisonous. But they treat everyone as poisonous. So if you ask whether this beetle is poisonous, they say, don't touch it, it's poisonous. If the snake kill it, it's poisonous. It's like that. So and about plants, you will see another very funny situation, because they actually don't know what plants are used for too. So don't trust them, and better ask another travelers, tourists, something like somebody who is of your level and of your interest. Also another dependence: stay longer, pay less. It sounds stupid for a first glance, but it's like that. So the most expensive travel is something what most people do, something like 1 week or 10 days. If you ask most travelers where you go, yeah, I'm going to Thailand or to Africa, for how much? 2 weeks or 1 week or 10 days. This is the most expensive, and this is the most dangerous. Because actually, when you have limited time, you are trying to get everything from your trip in one and the same day. You are trying to enjoy all the nature around, to try all the local food, to climb on all the mountains, to swim in all the rivers and oceans, and in the end of the week you have all the possible local disease. You have the not broken but at least damaged legs, skin, everything. And also you pay lots of money because you don't have a choice. The first person proposing you to bring you somewhere, you have to take because you have just 3 days remain. You don't want to waste whole day because you have just 3 days for looking at the cheaper possibility. You are using the first possibility, and you pay. You are overpriced.
And you have no time to sit above.
This is what I mean. This is what I mean. So normally you have not to travel less than 1 month. Well, you can travel as shortly as much as you can, but normal 2 months is normal. 3 months is optimal. 1 month is minimum. Is something what I can say. So generally, if you have enough time, you can, for example, you can book an accommodation, something like mid-range accommodation, for example, for something like $40 or $50 from here to there, and even to book a transport from the hotel to take you from airport to the hotel. But the next day, you will spend whole day walking around. You will find that this hotel which you could book in internet, it was the most expensive, and another one staying just nearby is $10. So you simply say thank you to the people who took you from airport and go to that of 10. And probably the next day you will find even $5. And you will stay in this $5 accommodation, something like for 10 days, and it will be the same as staying one day for in the previous one. But you have to have time in advance. So you have to have time to find cheaper accommodation, you have to find safer accommodation, you have to have time to adopt to local weather, especially if you're traveling from -20 to +30. And so stay longer, pay less, and stay safer. Then keep balance of interest. So this is the most difficult because generally you have to think where to invest your money, in transport, in accommodation, in food, or in collecting, something like that. So, for example, if you have more time, you can live in modest or in very budget hotel, but travel, for example, with a flight, with a plane, and you can arrange a flight for something like $100, but it will take you to a remote place. And probably it's better than going by bus, because for this distance there is no direct bus, so you will go to one village, another village, you will have to live there, to stay there, and in total you will have the same $100, but for longer time, and probably in between you don't see anything interesting. So always keep balance of investment and of your interest. And then have patience, because Africa is diverse. This is also probably it's the same as in this second point. So you have to have time. So if you arrive in Africa and you see raining, you shouldn't get in panic. It's very common for travelers, for recent travelers in Africa, to get in panic. So they come and you see rain in 2 days, and they say, okay, it's bad time, it will be raining all the time, where I can switch my tickets and going back from this stupid place? Wait, the sun will come just in a couple of days, and these couple of days you can spend for searching budget accommodation or some stuff what you need. For example, I have spent 3 days in Nairobi looking for ethanol for fixing. It was quite different, and it was the best purchase what I had. I had bought 3 liters of ethanol. It was like a magic, but it was 3 days. So even if the weather is bad, but you have enough time, you can do many useful things which will save your time when the sun will come. And simultaneously, if you see the sun and everything is dried, you also don't have to get in panic that you have arrived to a desert, because somewhere is a river and it's wet there and there is a vegetation. Even in very desert place, there are some places which are green. So don't get in panic, just wait or search another place. But everything speaks about that. You have to have time. So stay longer. Okay, there were lots of preliminary ideas. It was nearly 45 minutes, so I will go to more attractive things. So these were actually my contacts. So two organizations. One is ICP, International Center for Insectozoology and Ecology in Nairobi, in Kenya. It was for 2009, and Institute of Development of Studies in Dakar. These were the areas where I conducted more or less laboratory studies. And the idea was actually to study the parasitoids of rookie beetles, the beetles who are damaging the seeds of bean plants, called bean beetles. I had to collect these small insects in ethanol, and also to dissect the pods, these damaged pods, which can see the damage of the beetles. So for field work, I didn't need a microscope or laboratory, but for laboratory work, I did need, and this is the reason why I did need a contact with my colleagues. So there was actually many trips, but so we will speak about Senegal, Uganda, and Kenya, and Tanzania, and Zambia, and Namibia. Let's go one by one. So Senegal, West Africa, actually quite dry area, a former for French colony, as I said. The University of Dakar is one of the best universities in Africa. It's up like on the 4th place after